Okay, I've got my bucket list, my to-do list, and my Christmas list. But, where's my shot list? Oh, there it is. Hello filmmakers, Ash here, and welcome to Film It Yourself. A shot list is a list of all the shots that make up your film and can be a super helpful tool when it comes time to storyboard and schedule your shoot. It's basically your first shot, no pun intended, at making creative decisions about your film. So, let's go over how you choose and arrange your shots in order to build your shot list. There's basically two schools of thought when it comes to covering a scene. You can either get basic coverage or you can get exactly what you need. The basic coverage method means you approach each scene by getting full coverage of the scene in every angle for each character. This is usually done with wides, mediums, over the shoulders, and close-up shots. The benefit of this method is it gives your editor complete creative freedom to choose from which shots they feel work best. But the downside is that it's not very time efficient on set, as your actors have to perform the entire scene over and over again for each shot. The second method is shooting only what you need. This means you select the types of shots you want, instead of getting basic coverage for every character. This lets you have the actors perform the section of the script the shot is needed for. The benefit of this method is that it's extremely time efficient on set, but it allows for less editing flexibility in post. However, if you've planned your shots correctly, that hopefully won't be a problem. Once you've picked a method that's right for you, it's time to make your shot list. First, you want to organize your shots by scene, in chronological order. So, all the shots for scene 1, then all the shots for scene 2, and so on. Next, you want to put all the shot names. This is usually made up of a combination of the scene number and a chronological letter from the alphabet. Pro tip, when naming a shot, always make sure you skip letters like I, O, and C because they tend to look like numbers when written on a slate. And if you run out of letters, just start doubling them up. So for example, 1AA, 1AB, and so on. Then you want to make sure you arrange your shots into shooting order, and this is usually done by grouping shots by camera setups. A camera setup is any time the lights and/or camera are moved to accommodate a shot. So for example, if you need to shoot a medium shot and a close-up shot of a character, it makes sense to shoot these shots back to back, since the camera and lighting most likely won't change. This helps you be more time efficient on set and spend less time moving cameras and lights. Shooting orders can vary depending on what's being shot, but typically most filmmakers start with the wide shots and work their way into tighter shots, leaving close-ups and insert shots last. Pro tip, I also recommend knocking out more difficult shots earlier in the day, as sometimes these can take more time to shoot. Plus, by getting the harder shots out of the way first, it's more likely to boost your cast and crew's morale, as the shoot day will just get easier and easier. Also, if you happen to be shooting with more than one camera, make sure you list which camera will be shooting the shot. Cameras are usually labeled using the alphabet in chronological order, so you have an A cam, B cam, C cam, and so on. Next, make sure you know if each shot requires a particular camera move, such as a dolly, tilt, or pan. You'll also want to note if each shot is an exterior or interior shot, as well as if the shot requires audio and what type of audio you plan to capture. Shots that don't require audio are labeled as MOS. And I like to also know any specific props that are required for the shot, just to make sure I don't forget them. Finally is a notes field where you can place any notes that might be handy during the time of shooting. Now that you know how to do a shot list, you'll be sure to cover your scenes like a pro. And if you don't already have a template, you can get access to all of my filmmaking templates, including a shot list one, by supporting me on Patreon for the cost of a cup of coffee. And I mean, as fellow filmmakers, we both know how important coffee is. Substance. You can find a link to my Patreon account in the description below. Tastes like pre-production.